What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Today, I want to talk to you about three players I am looking at as values or buys in your Dynasty Fantasy Football Leagues post NFL draft. So let's just not waste any time. I want to get right in and I want to talk about the first guy. And that first guy is going to be Treylon Burks, wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans. So one of the main reasons why I am saying that Treylon Burks is a buy is because the Tennessee Titans failed to address the wide receiver position in free agency, and they failed to address the wide receiver position in the NFL draft, leaving Treylon Burks as the main receiver in that offense, really. It's really just Chig Okonkwo there, and like Westbrook Akine. So Treylon Burks has the opportunity here for the Tennessee Titans this year to see 140, 150 targets possibly. What he does with those targets is still going to be something that we have to see. We have to see Treylon prove it at the NFL level. But the opportunity for him to have a massive, massive target share is going to be there. So that is primarily the main reason why I'm buying Treylon Burks. Now, to give you an idea of how he's being valued by the community, he's currently ranked as wide receiver 28. He's in a similar tier as guys like Jerry Jeudy, Jahan Dotson, Jameson Williams. And you could almost say that Treylon Burks, of all of those guys, has the clearest pathway to 120 targets this year and has really, of all of those guys, he's the only one with the wide receiver one role in 2023. So I know that there's concerns about Ryan Tannehill and them being run heavy and some other things like that. The Tennessee Titans did go draft Will Levis. If we see him play this year, um, you know, I wouldn't even consider that much of a downgrade, if a downgrade at all. It might be an upgrade from what Ryan Tannehill is for Treylon Burks for fantasy football. So that is going to be why I have Treylon Burks as my first buy here post NFL draft. Now, the second guy that I have as a buy is actually going to be a quarterback. So if you play in super flex leagues, this is definitely a buy that you should be looking at. And it is going to be Kirk Cousins for the Minnesota Vikings. And the reason why I think Kirk Cousins is a fantastic buy is that Kirk Cousins is actually coming off a 4,500 passing yard season with the Minnesota Vikings. He didn't even throw 30 touchdowns. And he was quarterback 6 in 6-point passing touchdown leagues. And he finished top 10 in 4-point passing touchdown leagues. So Kirk Cousins, with head coach Kevin O'Connell and an offense that kind of switched to more of a pass heavy, or more pass heavy than they have been in the past. We know that Minnesota likes to run the ball, or had liked to run the ball under Mike Zimmer. With Kevin O'Connell, it seems like they're airing the ball out. You got to consider, too, that the Minnesota Vikings went and got a first-round wide receiver in Jordan Addison to put on the opposite side of the field from Justin Jefferson. So they are getting Kirk Cousins more weapons. They traded for TJ Hawkinson at the end of last year. So he didn't get a full year with TJ last year, still finished top 6. And the reason why he's a buy to me, now I give you all those stats, and the reasons why I say that is because it shows you that the production is there. And what he puts out is going to be a low-end QB1 for you in fantasy football leagues, and maybe even a mid-range. It just depends on how that offense develops this year. But where he's being valued is quarterback 24. And I know that probably most of that is because he's 34 years old and the long-term commitment for Kirk Cousins isn't super solidified for the Minnesota Vikings. But I do think that Kirk Cousins for a contender is going to fill a 2-year window, and he's going to be fantastic here in this 2-year window. Some of the guys being valued in the same range are Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Will Levis, Mac Jones, Desmond Ritter, Sam Howell. There are guys in this tier that aren't even established as fantasy football options. I just would not want to have one of those guys over Kirk. Kirk, to me, he feels super safe. The ceiling still feels high enough. You're going to get low end QB1 numbers out of him, and the price is super cheap. So to me, Kirk Cousins is definitely a buy, especially if you're a super flex contender in one of those leagues. So Kirk Cousins will be my second buy. Now, my third and final buy for this episode is going to be J.K. Dobbins, running back for the Baltimore Ravens. And J.K. Dobbins, saw a dip in value and quite frankly, a dip in production last year. First year coming back from that gruesome knee injury that we saw for J.K., but we're going into that second year. Towards the end of the year, we did see kind of an uptick in production from J.K. Dobbins. There were some games there where we were able to confidently have him in our starting lineup, and we were happy with what we got out of him. What makes him a buy to me is that the Baltimore Ravens didn't address the running back position. There was rumors that maybe they were going to add another back via free agency, or maybe they were going to add a back in the draft. But he goes through the NFL draft. He goes through that free agency period. They add nobody. It seems like they're confident enough to go in with J.K. Dobbins, and they bring Lamar Jackson back. So the offense is going to be, better than we expected. I know there was the question mark where we didn't know what Lamar was going to do. We didn't know how the offense was going to look. And yeah, the offense seems like it's going to be fine. They bring in Odell Beckham, they bring in Zay Flowers, and they bring back Lamar Jackson. So I think there's going to be lots of red zone opportunities for J.K. Dobbins, and quite frankly, just a lot of work on the ground for him as a running back. Now, the reason why he's a buy here is because he is being valued in a similar range to guys like Rashad White, Miles Sanders, Isaiah Pacheco, and Aaron Jones. And with J.K. Dobbins being 24 years old, on a good offense, just a little bit undervalued in general, I think that the price is low enough that I'd be willing to go in and say that J.K. Dobbins this year, I would be very confident in just checking off the box saying that he's going to get 1,000 yards this year. I think the range of outcomes for him is going to be a low-end RB1 to a mid RB2, and you're going to get him at low RB2 prices. So there is a little bit of juice for the squeeze here. It's just something that I would be doing. I think that there is a potential that maybe he comes back and he looks really good. We did like him as a prospect coming out of Ohio State, but ultimately the price is just too low for J.K. Dobbins. There's enough variables that are positive to me that I would be buying him in this at this price tag. So that is it. That's going to be my 3 buys for right now post NFL draft. If you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave it a like, drop a comment, share it, do all the things that you can do to help us in the YouTube algorithm. Doing those things really helps us grow. And being a small channel, we need to reach a wider community and help more people win fantasy football championships, because that's the goal here. That's what we want to do, is we want to win championships, and we want to help people do that. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to join the Discord, it is going to be linked in the banner or linked in the description. And other than that, I hope I got you guys in and out. Hopefully it was something quick enough that you could take some value from it. And I will see you guys on the next episode, where we will be talking sells tomorrow. Peace out.